Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. This video is about all the books I've read last month, so in the month of August. I have finished 17 books in August, which is fine. I was expecting to read more, but you know, life happened and I wasn't in the mood to be reading. So that's why, but I was looking and honestly my year started around like 10 books a month. Then since April, I've read more than 20 books every month. So 17 books is not a lot compared to the last months, but it's okay. We'll move on and, you know, read a lot in September, hopefully. So first book, well, they're not in order because I just finished like all my reviews, so they're not in order at all. So I read 2 books for the Booker Prize, so the long list was announced and I've been trying to get my hands on the books, which has been quite difficult, but I did read 2 books from that list in August. So first one I did finish is Audition by Kati Kitamura. So as I said, it was longlisted for the Booker Prize. You're following this older woman while she's preparing to act in a play, I think in New York, maybe. You meet this young guy who's also working on that play. You don't know who he is. It's very confusing. You get to know like who he is really by the end of the book, but I felt like this woman who was supposed to be an older woman acts like a teenager for me. Like, it's just, the story was very confusing, and at least it was a short book, that's why I finished it. But if it had been like 100 pages longer, I would have DNF'd it. The writing was great, but like the story and the characters, they just didn't work for me, unfortunately. So I give it a 3 stars, which is not a good start to this year's Booker Prize. Then I read another book. It's called Universality by Natasha Brown. This one, you're following a journalist as she's trying to uncover the truth about an attempted murder that happened in an abandoned farm with a bar of gold. So like the person just smacked the head of the other one. So this book is written as short stories, so you have a bunch of short stories on almost every character. So like, you know, it talked about their life and what they were doing there and all of that and what happened after. Overall, I think it was good. I found it quite interesting as a thriller just because it was made like different from what you usually read, so that was nice. Like the writing was not that great, which is kind of sad because that's what I'm looking for when I read the book from the Booker Prize. But the story made the book interesting, even though the writing was not necessarily the best I've read. Yeah, I think this book, I enjoyed it. I was a bit, like, I gave it 3.75 stars just because of the writing, but I think so far from the 2 books I've read from the Booker Prize, this one was the best. Then my monthly Louise Penny book, I listened to All the Devils Are Here because I found the audiobook and it was available at my library, so I listened to this. It's another Inspector Armand Gamache book and another disappointment. While in Paris, everybody comes back together to try to solve another murder. But this time I found it very boring. Like, I couldn't even tell you what this book is about. Like, yeah, it was boring. It took everything to actually finish it. The only reason why I finished it is because I was cleaning, so I had to listen to an audiobook. I think I have 1 book left from that series that I own, and I'm very ready to be done with that series. So that's kind of sad because a Quebec writer set in Quebec, but yeah, maybe one day I'll listen to the TV show. If you have watched it, please tell me if it's worth it. Then my monthly Jane Ann Krantz. This time I read Smoke and Mirrors. And this you're following Leonara. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Leonara. Anyways. She's trying to figure out what happened to her friend Meredith, who apparently committed suicide. She doesn't believe that it was the case because it's not Meredith. It's not her. especially like Meredith just stole some money. She had everything planned to get away. So Leonora doesn't believe it happened. So with the help of other people and a bit of investigation, she uncovers the truth about Meredith and another woman who also committed suicide not that long ago. Overall, it was a good book. I enjoyed it. It was, just a typical Jane Ancrantz book. I give it 3.70 stars, 75 stars. It's good, just the writing is not amazing, and it wasn't my favorite by her, so 3.75. Then I went on a I went on an adventure of rereading books. I reread 3 books by Abby Glines. If you have been following me this year, Abby Glines has started writing like dark romance not too long ago, but before she used to write young adult romance. And this is the first series I've read by her. It's the Seabreeze series, so I went on and reread Just for Now. This is the story of Amanda and Preston. Preston is the best friend of Amanda's brother. He's the bad boy. He comes from a very poor family, and Amanda comes from a very rich family, so they're opposite but very cute. I enjoyed this. Then I went on and reread While It Lasts. This one's follow Cage and Eva. Cage is in the baseball team of Preston, so they know each other. He gets a DUI. So he has to spend the summer working on the farm, and the farm is Eva's dad. So, very cute, very cute. And then I reread Hold On Tight, and this you're following Dwayne and Sienna. Sienna used to date Dwayne's brother when they were teenagers, and the brother sadly passed away in a very bad car accident, and Sienna found herself pregnant, and her parents shipped her away and cut all communications between her dead boyfriend's family and her. So they didn't know that she had a kid, and then she moves back home because her father passed away and her mom gave her the house, and that house is in front of the other family. So Dwayne's meets Sienna again, and then you learn Sienna was in love with Dwayne, but he kind of gave her to his brother. It's very complicated but very cute. I enjoyed rereading this. Then I read a Nicholas Sparks that made me cry. It's called The Rescue. This you're following Denise and her son. We just moved to a small town. It was Denise's parents' hometown, so she moves back there. Then they get into an accident and they meet Taylor, who is a volunteer fireman. They both face a loss in their lives. Him, that was his father that passed away when he was younger. Her, everyone in her family is dead. So they both have unresolved trauma, and they just figure out life together. And I cried at one point, like I usually do in Nicholas Sparks' book. 4.5 stars was very good, a very strong Nicholas Sparks. Then I went and read a trailer that's bright neon green, which is nice. It's called Deal Breaker by Harlan Coben. In this trailer, you're following a sports agent, Marin, as he's trying to help a client who's trying to find what happened to his ex-girlfriend that went missing a couple of years ago. While the story was interesting, there were too many things happening, a bunch of random people, and just it was confusing. Otherwise, I think the writing was good, the book was good, it was fine. So I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna read other books by Harlan Coben, but I gave this one 3.25 stars. Then I read this book. It's called A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is book 2 in the Blood and Ash series. You're following again Poppy and Castile. While I did not enjoy book 1 that much, the ending made me want to read book 2. Book 2 was for sure better. You get more into the world building and the characters and the relationships and politics and all of that. So for sure that was better than book 1. Overall, I enjoyed that book. I thought it was a bit long, but still enjoyed it. I'm actually excited to read book 3 that I just bought, so good for this. I realized that I didn't give it a stars on my review, so I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was very good. Then I went on and finished books by Cora Riley. If you have seen my July wrap-up, I was reading mafia books by her. So I read Bound by the Past. This is book 7 in the Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles. You're following Dante and Valentina. It's part 2 of their love story. You're reading about each of Dante's betrayals to his family and the mafia and all. And honestly, I do not care about the Chicago outfit, so Dante is the boss of that family. Yeah. So I did not enjoy that book very much. I couldn't care less. So 3.5 stars. Then I went back to the New York family. It's Bound by Blood. It's book 8 of that same series. So you're revisiting all of the characters you've read about in the books before. It's like a way to wrap up the series and give happy ending to all of them. The only thing that I did not like, it was Gianna and Mattia. Is that their name? Anyways, those people, like, it annoyed me that Cora Riley made them have a kid. Very annoyed me, but overall I really enjoyed it, so 4.5 stars. Then I went back to the Twisted series, so I read Twisted Bounds. It's book 4 of the Cameras Chronicles, so they're the Las Vegas Mafia. You're following Nino and Kiara for part 2 of their love story. This was not as strong as their other book, but I still enjoyed it a lot. At the same time, I was very excited to read about the other 2 brothers, so I wanted this one to end quickly. I give it 4 stars, so still very good. Then I went on and read Twisted Hearts. This is book 5 of the Cameras Chronicles. You're following Savio and Gemma. Savio is the 3rd brother. Gemma had a crush on Savio for years. Savio? Anyways. She had a crush on him for years. But being older and the brother of the boss of the Cameras, is not an option for Gemma. But then she gets engaged to another guy, and Savio realized that he wants to be with her. So she broke off her engagement and started, dating Savio. Anyways, I enjoyed this a lot. Gemma was a very fantastic character. I loved her. So I gave this 4.5 stars. Then I went and finished that series. It's the last book is called Twisted Cravings. So that's book 6. And you're following the youngest brother of the Falcone's brothers, so Adamo. Adamo likes to race and hates living in the mansion, and he's very different from the rest of the family. So, he just goes on and races and lives and camps and not really part of the family, but still. He meets Dinara, the daughter of the Chicago's Bratva, so that's the Russian mafia. And, they fall in love and all of that. But honestly, I was very excited to read about Adamo's love story, but this fell short. Did not enjoy it that much, but I still give it 3.75 stars. So I'm done with Cora Riley's books for now, and I went back to a series that I started in July. It's the Perfectly Imperfect series by Neva Altaj. I read book 2, it's called Broken Whispers. And you're following Bianca and Mikhail, stuck in an arranged marriage. Bianca doesn't speak because she got into a car accident when she was younger and she lost her vocal cords. And Mikhail has a lot of scars, physically and mentally, and they just figure out life together and this marriage and all of that. After the first book in that series, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep on going, but then I read book 2 and enjoyed it so much that I already read book 3 and 4. So 4.25 stars for Broken Whispers. And then I went on and read book 3 of that series. It's called Hidden Truth. And this you're following Angelina and Sergei. Sergei is he is the half-brother of the boss of the Bratva. I think I forgot to say, but it's a Russian mafia / Italian mafia eventually. Okay, sorry. So Mikhail has a bunch of... No. Just realized I mixed book 2 and 3. Okay. Mikhail was tortured when he was a kid. He's not related to the boss. Yeah. He has a scar in his face, he can't see from one eye, he's very bad looking, and Bianca is like this perfect Italian girl from the mafia and all of that, and I think that book was very cute. I give it 4.25 stars. But then the next book, where you're following Sergei, so the half brother of Mikhail, of what is he called? Roman? Anyway, the boss of the Bradvia. Is it in New York or Chicago? Anyways, I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. So, Hidden Truths. I'm so confused. I'm confused in what I've been saying to you. So, Broken Whispers is Bianca and Mikhail, and then Hidden Truth is Sergei and Angelina. Angelina is the daughter of the past Mexican cartel boss, whatever. Her dad is killed by a guy that wants to marry her, but then she manages to escape, and then she got into a relationship with Sergei, and it was very cute. I love this. I love both of those people, so I give this book 5 stars. A very strong way to end the month, because that was really the last book I read in August. So 17 books. I had a lot of fun, I think, in August, book-wise. So now, September, I'm gonna go on and read and study and all of that, because school has started again. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!